Okay, we are back for part 2 of today's podcast. This is the African EV podcast for those of you who are, this is your first time. If you have watched us before or listened to us before, welcome back. My name is Garashabo, and I'm here with my colleague, Olukoku Tolope. This is part 2 actually. We actually had a part 1 earlier, but it's actually a hodgepodge of issues. So we are talking about the car market, and then also we're talking about the coronavirus or COVID-19. So, Lukaku, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. So, first of all, we want to play a video. This was an interview given by Herbert Diess, the CEO of VW, at Davos 2020. So this was before COVID-19. So with the benefit of hindsight, we want to play what he had to say. And then
the video was in January.
Yes, it was in January. It's a YouTube video, so I'm just playing straight from YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Early in the morning.
Can you hear? Could you hear? Hello? 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 Could you hear me?
To talk about the future of the car industry. You were here, you met with President Trump at a dinner and his team at a time where actually we still worry that he will impose tariffs on car makers,
yeah, we do.
Especially German ones. What was the discussion like?
Yes, we still work.
I can hear you.
I think it was a positive meeting. I had a chance to talk to the administration, Secretary Ambassador Lighthizer was there, and Mr. Mnuchin. So, and we did a lot to prepare. We invested heavily to adopt to the new after NAFTA regulation in the United States, investing heavily. We just had groundbreaking in our plant in Chattanooga to double up capacities. We soon will put all the machinery there to ramp up production for a new EV, electric vehicle for the United States. We are investing in battery capacity in the States. So we're doing what we can to avoid tariffs.
How convinced was he, Mr. Diess? Because President Trump left Davos saying tariffs are still on.
Yeah, I think he's still very committed and serious about it. I think the administration is happy with what we are doing.
But when you say committed to tariffs, committed to enforcing tariffs?
It's very difficult to read President Trump, but he stated that he's still not happy with Europe.
When you look at your biggest concern, is it market decline in China or is it tariffs?
Generally, I think 2020 for the automotive industry will be a very difficult year because markets are basically flat. Probably we see slight growth in some of the markets. In Europe, we have to comply with the fleet targets, emission CO2 fleet targets, which we have to make sure that our electric vehicles make their way. We are well prepared, and we are optimistic. We come with a lot of new products, so we're basically optimistic, but it will be a very demanding year for the industry.
Mr. Diess, a very, very interesting time for the auto industry. If you take a look at Tesla's market value surging past Volkswagen, I mean, how do you explain why investors are putting money in a company like Tesla, which is not making money yet, compared to a company like Volkswagen? I mean, Tesla is burning cash, you're making money.
Yeah, the market evaluation tells you something about the future, future expectations. And Tesla is having a product which basically describes the future of the auto industry, a fully connected electric car. And so there's a lot of evaluation about the future car. And I think Tesla is paving the way there. It's modeling something new for the industry. I think we are close to follow, so we are quite optimistic that we still can keep the pace with Tesla and also at some stage probably overtake.
keep the pace, overtake. The question really, eventually, who will win in this, tech car space? Will it be, traditional car makers like yourself, like Toyota or Tesla, or, players like Google?
I think it's an open race. I would take Tesla more seriously than Google, and there are also from our peers some very competitive companies like Toyota. But it will be, I think, the company which adopts fastest and which is most innovative, but also which has enough scale in the new world, will make the race.
What are you doing to win that race?
We are really ramping up our software capabilities, buying companies, building up new skills. We are heavily investing in EVs, in battery cells. So I think we're doing the right things to be competitive.
In terms of stricter emissions, what are you doing? I mean, the sense out there, it will be gas-powered. That would be the future. I mean, where do you stand on that?
No, the future will be electric in the passenger car world for sure. I think that's pretty clear now. And this train is moving. It's gaining speed. It's gaining momentum. And for this world, we are preparing. So we will see a car which is emission-free. Basically, cars will become very safe. We will probably spend more time in a car than today. So cars will be very convenient. My view is that the car will be the most precious and still prestigious and innovative internet device.
What could hinder the effort?
Nothing can hinder the effort.
There must be a piece of technology that would make it better.
Yeah, it's a lot of technologies. Auto industry was always about a broad variety of technologies, but the new thing is really to have the car fully integrated in the internet. So loads of data being uploaded from the car to the internet and downloaded, and that makes the car really safe, innovative, convenient. That makes a big change, and that's something new which we have to learn, and that's something probably Tesla is quite advanced already.
So I think we asked you the same question last year. So I want to see if there's an update. Is the change of pace, the change of progress to electric cars, but also to driverless cars, going to be quicker than we think?
Yeah,
or less quick?
I think 2020 will be a breakthrough year for electric cars because also the legislation is demanding basically a percentage of electric cars in Europe and in China later than in the United States. So 2020, 21 should be decisive years.
Volkswagen has said that it wants to be carbon neutral by 2050, help eliminate 2%.
Yeah.
The question is, how much will that cost you?
I think, the world is changing, and many people are talking here about the cost, but at the end, if you look at the figures, renewable energy is already as cheap as carbon-based energy, and new technology is really stepping in. So the world will be different, but the world still will have exciting product. It will be worthwhile to live and spend time.
Could you put a price to it? How much it will cost you? I mean, you have more than 122 factories around the world.
Yeah, anyhow, we are continuously investing. We're one of the biggest investors, and also we put a lot of money behind R&D. That's traditionally, but we changed that to more new technologies. Give up, let's say, a little bit on the old stuff. Focus more. So I think we can cope.
How does the merger between PSA and Fiat Chrysler change? Does it change the landscape for you significantly?
Not dramatically. No, I think the industry is consolidating over the last 100 years or so. So it's a continuous process. Scale matters also in the future because software becomes so important. Software is a scale game, and so. I think it's a good move for the French colleagues. It's important. They get a really important footprint in the United States, so they will become more competitive.
Would you be interested, therefore, of consolidating?
No, we are big enough. We around 10 million cars, and we have a worldwide relatively good footprint. Very strong in China, strong in Europe. Still a lot of room for improvement in the United States, where we are focusing. That is why we are investing there. It makes sense to invest for us in the United States. So we feel with our size and with our brands, between Porsche, Audi, Volkswagen, we have, I think, the right brands. So we are well prepared for the change to come.
So, Olukaku. Hello? What do you think of the interview? Mind you, this was in January. And what was your opinion?
Yeah, I'm glad that he got some of these things right. And he said some things that really baffled me. Now they are looking at Tesla as a standard. So everybody's saying we can keep up the pace with Tesla. We can maybe overtake them and all of that. So, imagine VW saying they want to keep up with this tiny, tiny, tiny company. I mean, just like Tony Seba said, disruption starts from outside, not within. So I think Tesla has really done well in this game, and it's hard for all these legacy manufacturers to keep up with them. And with what he said, they are trying to invest more in their software because they believe if they do not have this software aspect, they can meet up. And with predictions, Tesla is ahead of many of these companies with many years. So even in software, even in battery technology that they are just investing in, Tesla has really gone ahead many years ahead of them. So I don't really know if he really meant overtaking Tesla. They might be able to keep up the pace, Keep up the pace doesn't mean they will be at par. I mean, in the electric vehicle world, e-mobility, but like if Tesla is 20 kilometers ahead of them, they'll be able to keep up the pace at that 20 kilometers for a long time. That's what I could see from what they say, but not like they will try to gain more and all of that. But well, the game is still with Tesla anyway. If Tesla could show people like they've been doing, opening up their patents and all of that, I believe they can help other companies. But when it comes to recompetition, they can't really catch up as at this moment.
I think that in this very interview, I find it very interesting. When I listen to Herbert Diess talk about electrification and the future of the automobile industry, I find it quite peculiar because I think the first key point that I noted was that he said that the future is electric, number one. And
yes.
Number two,
yes.
Very importantly, when the interviewer asked him, what can stop it? He said that nothing can stop it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that is, we have to pause and think about that very carefully. That is a major admission on his part.
Yes. Yes. And it might be technical for him too. Might not be a 100% conviction, but you know where they are coming from, Dieselgate scandal and all of that. So he might be saying it for themselves, for the company, that look, our future is in electric, nothing else. But for us, the consumers, we also know that the future is in electric. Everybody know. I'm only trying to say that he might be talking from two angles, from the company perspective and from the general perspective.
Okay, I get that. But you see, the thing about Herbert Diess is that he was appointed after the Dieselgate scandal. And from the get-go, they saw it as a way to rebuild their brand and their image. Because it's like, hey, from being one of the people who were cheating on pollution to becoming a zero emission. Hey. But be that as it may be, VW is very big. I think they're the biggest car company by volume.
Very much.
Yes. So there are all manner of
how
fashions.
many brands?
There are a lot. I think about 17 or so. Don't hold me to that. but they have all manner of factions.
Yeah,
They have all manner of factions fighting within themselves. Okay, so
okay.
and this guy too. One thing I noticed about him that he has always been consistent when it comes to electrification, and he's one of the few people of all the legacy car manufacturer CEOs who seem to get it. Because you see, he didn't just talk about electrification. He made a reference to the fact that the car is going to be an internet device. So it's all about software. You see, and that is what Tesla. Yes, that is what Tesla has brought to one of the major things that Tesla brought to the game. So you see that when the interviewer asked him, I forgot the exact question, but he said that, listen, they are building up skills. They want to build up their software skills. They are buying when they need to buy. They are trying to acquire the skills where they can acquire. Because when it comes to mechanical engineering, I think it's that industry that the German automakers have reigned supreme. But it is the software engineering aspect. That is where, and that is where they are trying to. And I, for one, don't hear any of the other legacy car companies talking about this. I mean, do you? Yeah. Talking this way. Let me say it clearly.
Okay. Most companies have their methods, their way of handling this competition. Let me say. So for Nissan was interested in mass production.
Yeah. That's a Carlos Ghosn, right?
I mean, so it was about mass production. Let us win a market share, But Tesla was more of, no, we need to have something more compelling that will smack ICE vehicles down severally, So it depends on the method of entry of each company. So for the likes of Volkswagen now, the direction they are going is that for us to keep up the pace and continue to win this market share, we must be able to keep up with what Tesla is doing in software and in all this new technology.
Batteries. You remember
batteries, yes.
When the lady, one of the ladies asked him about what is the requirement, the criteria he thinks that the necessary to win. He spoke about the batteries. He spoke about the software. And he spoke about skill. And he was very clear that he's not talking about skill generally. Well, VW has skill, but he's talking about skill in these industries. Do you agree with his statement?
Yes, I do. I mean, there's no other way to it. There's no other way to it. So if they will keep up at all, they need those things. I mean, they've been able to identify their problem. You see, in project management, the first problem is identification of problem. Once you are able to identify your problem, then you begin to follow the next things. So they've been able to identify their problem as they do not have, number one, they require skills. They do not have the software that can, compete, and the EV technology, I mean, the battery technology. And that is what they are investing heavily on. And you could notice that I was dodging the amount of investment because the lady was really asking, how much? How much do you think this would cost you?
I think that is out there. That's out there. How much they are investing into EVs is out there, without question. I think I have the figure.
Maybe at the data point, but during this interview, he couldn't say.
Oh yeah. But that's the beauty about one of the things I see about PW. Because of the number of brands that fall under the PW group. Okay, they by themselves are able to achieve economies of scale. Okay, so like recently they have this MEB architecture that they have launched. And the first car on the MEV platform is already in production. That's the ID3. And I heard them say that they want to release the ID4 later this year. I actually am looking forward to the bus.
Oh, that was
bus.
Those ones fun, you know.
Africa. No, Africa. You see, we might also cry our own cry. But you see, the point is with this one platform, they can distribute it across their various brands. Everybody can build their own body or their own concepts around one skateboard. So they can come down immediately in terms of costs if they stick with their strategy.
Okay, I wanted to tell you that strategy is to minimize costs. Yeah. I mean, in the days of ICE vehicles, Volkswagen will not say they want one platform across board, one platform for all their vehicles. No, they wouldn't do that, you know. So, but then electric vehicle technology has made it possible in such a way that you can have a scalable platform and build so many structures upon it. So, you know, and I believe they are going the normal route, but then people still compare them with Tesla in terms of cost, performance, range, and all of that. So until they're able to keep up at that pace, before they can take people's view away from Tesla, you get.
Do you think they can catch up?
Catch up? No, I don't. Why? No, I don't. Now the game is with Tesla. If Tesla really want it, other vehicle manufacturers, especially in electric vehicle, can really meet up, and that is by listening to them, some of their technologies. Now, if anybody will catch up with Tesla, it will be like a collaboration with them. Tesla is many years ahead of so many manufacturers. So now
it doesn't mean that they will remain ahead all the time. My question is, why do you think they can never catch up?
Okay, so I mean, in technology, so far Tesla is still innovating. Before anybody can catch up with Tesla, it will still take another decade. So, I mean, Tesla will still rule the game for long. What I'm saying is, Tesla has never stopped innovating. Tesla is bringing in new products every day. Tesla is updating their software, investing in many other infrastructures, buying up companies. As they are working on battery technology, they are working on artificial intelligence, all this self-driving and all of that. The aim is to achieve level 5. And the first, so many companies, so many experts already accepted that the first company that will be able to achieve level 5 is Tesla. So once you achieve level 5, you win the game. If you listen to Tony Silva on disruption and all of that, you will understand this concept.
You know, we both listen to him all the time.
You said?
No, is it the point I'm trying to elicit from you is in asking this question is that, you see, disruption is good, and right now this has entered this virtuous cycle. So they keep innovating, and the pace of innovation seems to be compounding. Yeah, also, but you see, sometimes too, somebody can bring a step change. So right now, when it comes to battery technology and its architecturing for storage systems and for mobile systems, Tesla seems to is actually so many years ahead, or a number of years ahead of other companies. But imagine some guy in Africa or whatever, in his bedroom, is playing with something and discovered that, oh, I can manufacture solid-state batteries. You see, immediately the game has changed. Or let's say your innovation, for example, if you're able to prototype it and foolproof it, somebody using this system immediately can jump over Tesla, at least when it comes to the energy efficiency side of the.
No, it's not ahead, because I wanted to say not that easily, because what Tesla is doing is beyond battery technology or
You mean
proportion or powertrain alone. You get so
okay.
because I'm listening.
You want to say that it's because it's not just one technology, but it's a number of
it's a number
that are working
and
together.
Consumers are having different products every time they go to bed and they wake up. They feel like this is another car entirely. You get the point, and that's the power of the technology, which is the software. And if you are able to, for instance, if you're able to say you are at par or competing with Tesla, it will be majorly on software. When it comes to battery, you can acquire that battery anywhere. You get, but for the software, it's rather harder to get to that level of technology. Number one, because machine learning, AI depends more on data. And Tesla has enormous, might not be excess, but a lot of data to push them to level 5 quickly.
Is
now,
huge.
you that are just starting, so you that are just starting, that are just starting, where will you get the data from? Who wants to sell those data to you, for God's sake? Because who has those things wins the game. But that is in the spirit of competition. It depends on Tesla if they really want to compete. Because right now, they are competing with no one. They are just
they're competing with themselves, actually.
They are competing with themselves. Yeah. So, so the game really lies on Tesla, not on these new companies, because they know. So the best thing is to share intelligence, is to share technology, is to share knowledge. Okay, Tesla, you have achieved level 5. You are the king. Can you share the data with us so we can achieve level 5 too? That's when you can now start talking about.
Talking about this self-driving thing, like you were making reference to. We need data to train the AI systems. Also. And not just the data, the quality of data is also very important. The thing about Tesla is that they're using actual driving data. But people are actually driving their products. The data from that, the people's driving, that's what they're using to train their systems, where everybody else is using simulations. Okay. However, and the funny thing is that the reason why they're having this problem is that they also use this LiDAR system that they have to now get to buy on top of the car. Whereas Tesla, all these sensors are integrated to the car. But you see, what's the name? AI. There's this company also in AI. It's self-driving. One of the things they have done is that they are taking advantage of the sensors that have already been built into legacy cars. So you see some of the cars that have made recently, this year, the Corollas and Co. They have some of these cameras already inbuilt.
Yeah.
What we can say. So my point in making this statement is that there is also a way around that installed vehicle base, because Tesla has like 1 million cars now, and the cars are, as they are adding more cars, the number of cars are increasing. But it may be possible if all the other car manufacturers agree on, let's say, a common protocol, okay, for them to use their, the car doesn't need to be electric for you to be autonomous, to be self-driving.
Yes,
that's one thing. They can even use their legacy petrol cars with cameras and the various sensors to even train their AI systems for self-driving.
Okay. So you have deployed. Look at this. That is why it's difficult for them. Yeah, you have deployed millions of cars over the years with that camera. So a few years you started deploying camera only for cruise control. It's for cruise. Now this guy, AI, saw the need and developed a particular system that could jailbreak the ECU of those vehicles and be able to make use of them for self-driving. You get? So it's turning this.
It's not too self-driving. It's level 2
this advanced
assisted
cruise
driving.
control.
Yes.
You get. So, and he himself, he said he was once contracted by
Elon Musk, actually.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So,
that's how you going.
but it didn't fall through. So, but then what I'm saying is, imagine. Okay, let's go into the computing world. Tesla has its own hardware right now. They have their own processor right now. You get it?
Yeah.
Now, other manufacturers do not have that technology. If they will use, probably, if they will leverage on Tesla, that means Tesla must sell their chip to them. You have to buy that chip. Now, you are seeing chips alone to other manufacturers. They are in millions. Now, we'll sell our chip to you, the hardware, and then we'll still sell you the data, the software, and all of that. So who is controlling your vehicle? If you misbehave one day, Tesla will shut all your cars down all over the world. You get it? For people that are so you already know who is the king of this game. How do you keep up with that? So if you will keep up with that, you must to start from scratch. And if you start from scratch, it will take you a number of years to get up there.
I see. I'm playing the devil advocate here because you see, I think that it's a numbers game. You see, like if I'm talking about miles driven, what you want is you want a certain number of miles driven, and that number of miles driven, you want a certain type of variety. Enough variety so that you can account for almost any crazy occurrence. See, the reason why self-driving for cars is so difficult as compared to planes or ships is because for the roads, there are so many possible interferences and there's so much unpredictability. I hope you understand. The level of complexity that you see on a normal road is so wide and so deep. From roads that have potholes to roads that are not actual roads, to people driving on the wrong side of the road, to all manner of things. The variety and even the weather.
Yeah.
So it is that complexity that makes the problem so difficult. Now,
okay.
Currently, we don't know how much data we need to train an AI system to achieve full self-driving. We don't know that it is 5 billion miles driven or 10 billion miles driven, after which any number of extra miles driven is basically not necessary. I hope you're following.
Yeah.
My contention is that a number of car companies can decide to work in tandem. So, like what Tesla has taken the Apple routes, where they are tightly integrated. They are building their own hardware and their software and doing the integration together. But a number of car companies can go the Android way, where let us band together. Aha. So I'm just trying to say that it's not so hard and hard and dry. You know what I'm saying? There are ways around the problem. It will be difficult, very difficult, but it is possible to do something about the problem. That's my take. So what are you saying?
So I said that so if they go the open source route, it means that they will be able to get so many data in a less period of time, in a short time. But that short time will still be years, because it will now be a number, a game of numbers. But then Tesla already deployed about 1 million vehicles.
The
And
number
we
is
are talking
increasing.
about,
The number
and the number is increasing as they are going, and they are innovating. Now, if all the, which is not possible, if all other companies come together, which is rather hard right now, except for Comma AI that can consolidate all of them and say, okay, I have this technology, I'm operating on open source, try to put my system into your cars as you are, it will now be how many of those cars people are buying that are really flying the road. ID3 is not really doing very well in the market.
Actually, that's another thing. They're having software issues. So the car has delayed.
So compared to Model 3, now Model Y is really taking up every space right now. You get it. So the best bet is for them to come together, like you said, then they can collectively, make up with the competition and close the pace of Tesla somehow.
He spoke about Tesla's valuation compared to the VW. And strangely enough, he didn't seem to have any problems. He was talking about the fact that the valuation reflects how the market sees the future of the auto industry, that Tesla is seen as a standard, that they are the one defining the car of the future. That is why they are valued higher than VW. Even though VW makes over 10 million cars, Tesla makes just over 360 something thousand cars as of last year. What is your take on that?
Yeah. Yes, he knew that people are betting on the future. And I've forgotten the name of this guy that never ever doubted Tesla for once. He said, you don't doubt a company that is innovating. You don't doubt the future. This is the future. Don't bet against it.
Are you talking about, is he an Indian guy?
Indian guy, yes.
Oh, sorry, Indian American. It's Chamath. I hope I'm calling the name well. Palihapitiya or something. It's Chamath.
Okay.
It's called Chamath.
You understand? Yes, you are right. That's the guy. And I'm on record.
I think I'll link to that video below. I'll link to that video below.
Okay. So he was very certain that they don't bet against it. So I mean, this knows the future. He knows they are in the past, and they are trying to catch up with the future. So whatever he's saying is aligning. I agree with what he said. I mean, as we've seen everything the legacy company could do. We've seen it. We've seen it all. So people are now banking on the new thing, which is Tesla. And that's what Tesla is doing. Tesla is showing us what seemingly is impossible, but making it possible. So you don't bet against that. So that is what this just acknowledged. And
anyway, another question that was asked of him was whether the rate of change will be slower or faster than people expect. And he was saying that it will be faster than people expect.
Yes, because competition drives this thing. Because they are coming to that space now, they believe they will be able to put Tesla on their toes and all of that. So whatever it is, competition and collaboration will make it come faster, and the rate of adoption too. And one thing, which is the cost of renewable energy that is really coming down. They acknowledge that part too. So I believe that it will be faster, especially if not for this pandemic. I mean, the rate of adoption will be exponential this year.
That's also one factor. At the time that when he made this statement, the reason he spoke about the fact that China, who is the biggest electric market, regulation is forcing them to have more EVs, and then Europe to, because of the emission targets that are being given, which are not possible to meet without electrifying your fleet. These are the two reasons he gave. But now we have this coronavirus that has basically turned the world upside down. How do you think that plays into his prediction? Since you seem to agree with him, do you think that this coronavirus
Coming.
do you think the coronavirus will further accelerate the rate of adoption, or it will reduce
it? Right now, coronavirus is crumbling every economy. So right now, it will slow it down. It will slow it down until we are able to.
Electric vehicles in general, or the auto.
Every economy,
Electric
vehicle.
the auto industry generally, or the EV.
Okay, so if you are to take it one by one, definitely, so far it's affected every economy, it's going to affect the auto industry as well. You get, so I mean, there's no movement. Everybody should stay at home. So how does that help any auto industry? But then, as soon as the world go back to normal, of course, there will be after COVID. The world is not in there right now, yeah. So things will start taking shape. People will start. These companies, is the time to innovate. This is time to incubate so many ideas, try it out before you put it out there. Immediately we recover from this pandemic, begin to launch your technology and start taking some market share. So for now, for the next 6 months, I see that it's going to slow the pace of adoption of electric vehicle majorly, and I mean, the only one that seems to have recovered from this is China. And if you are comparing China mode of electrification, you will not compare it with Tesla or what America is doing. And NIO seems to be the one that is trying to innovate in China. NIO is starting.
I'm surprised you didn't mention BYD.
Yeah, BYD is mass production, and their major
they are doing a lot of
aspect
buses.
is actually battery.
They are doing a lot of buses too.
They have some buses, but what I'm saying is that their technology is not deep. When it comes to software,
they do the batteries as well as the cars.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know much about their software capability.
You will have had it. You are in auto industry. You've been on this route for a long time, so you will have had it if they've made. But what I'm saying is that solution and all of that. So they needed to reduce that drastically. They are not paying much attention to softwares. They just want something that could reduce their emission quickly. All of that. So, but the one that is trying mostly is NIO. BYD has a reputation in battery technology, but NIO is doing quite a bit of everything like Tesla. And
I mean, they are copying Tesla. In fact, they actually hire some of their engineers. And
for a particular brand of new car, we were told that there was kind of, and I think they said they leaked some secret about their artificial intelligence to NIO. There was this news.
That's what I'm making reference to.
So, I mean, that is the only company in China, out of China, that I know that is doing very well. I did some artificial intelligence courses where we studied Apollo. Apollo is from China, and they are doing very well. They are trying to build, to get more data to be able to deploy their technology out there for self-driving cars. And they are open source as well. I don't know if you heard about them. So
are they car manufacturers, or they just software guys?
Software, majorly for self-driving. So that is why we cannot compare China to what Tesla is doing. I mean,
you mean to America?
You cannot imagine the reception they gave to Tesla in China.
No. I'm getting confused. Are you comparing China to Tesla, or comparing China to America?
Okay, so now you made mention in the statement of this that it was referring to the acceleration of electric vehicles, and he made mention of China,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So now I'm not saying China is not a factor for me, because China has a peculiar issue, and that's what they are addressing. But in the space at which Volkswagen want to compete, that's the same space Tesla is right now. Why didn't he make reference to BYD or NIO when he was talking? Everybody is looking at Tesla up there. You said?
Tesla is the base center. They're the leaders.
Okay, so I mean, that's what I'm saying. So the acceleration, fine, but not in technology space. It will be in, okay, we just have e-mobility, we have electrified our mobility and all of that. So fine. We have a lot of that. We have lead acid technology for electric vehicle even in China right now. And they are claiming some reasonable distance range. So I believe at the end of this pandemic, we will see some traction in that space.
I think a bit differently. I
Okay.
think that China has shown clearly. I think there are about 200 car companies now or more in China. Yes.
That's the ones you could even count.
Yes.
That's
what the government is doing is right now the government is trying to force some consolidation in the market. Okay. But then they're also using regulation to force adoption. As you were.
Okay.
Okay. What they don't have is a certain depth of expertise. And the global leaders, without question, the people who actually define the standards, not the data standards, they are the ones defining the standards. It's Tesla. That is why China, one of the reasons why China has aggressively given concessions to Tesla. Okay. And I feel that as they have reopened various manufacturing plants, and Tesla's Shanghai plant also come on live again. I mean, we are going to begin to see the impact of the coronavirus and this whole thing first in China. You know what I'm saying? As they begin to recover, we will see whether you have far more market share, as in the rate of acceleration will either increase or decrease. I think that we will first see it in China within the next six months, as you are saying. Before we talk about Europe, because Europe right now they are still trying to get a handle on the whole corona thing. And you see,
Europe is in a mess of this pandemic right now.
And one other thing that you seem not to have considered is the fact that by the time we are coming out of the coronavirus, you know, the economic toll. People are now trying to find their feet. They are looking for new jobs, or they're trying to put their lives back together because of the economic impact. And most importantly, the psychology will have changed in fundamental ways that we still are not grasping fully. Okay, we are in Africa, you know. All of a sudden, people who don't want to do don't want to have anything to do with technology are being forced to use WhatsApp. They are being forced to do Facebook, Instagram, Zoom meetings, mobile money. Fundamentally, our culture is changing in myriad ways. It's going to soon become acceptable. It has certainly become acceptable for people to work from their houses and maybe go to your office for meetings twice or 3 times in a week, which is unheard of before. Okay, so such things are also going to impact EV adoption, I believe, in a very positive way. Okay.
Yeah. Before then, I think what you said about China is logical, very logical, and we'll begin to see. And you see, there was this news that during their crisis, they had the cleanest air ever.
Yes. No. The nature of the air around is still changing. So now we have a control case to see how much cars are polluting the environment and how stopping the movement can clean up the air.
Yeah, so now I would believe that it will be wise for their government
To
to
go extra
make more
aggressive.
stricter policies for electric vehicles. And that will drive that market very much. I mean, people are just recovering. They've not been recording any local cases for weeks now. So, I mean, it will be a good time to try it out and see if they could go almost 80-90%. I mean, but then for advanced countries, for advanced setups, they already have plans to recover their economy or revive their economy for the
Are you
people.
sure?
Yeah, but
I,
only
they are all stumbling.
scare I have is for, you said?
Everybody is stumbling from place to place, like what the Americans are
Yes.
doing. I mean,
My
what this
only
has
scare
done
is
is
for Africa.
expose.
The coronavirus will expose us too much in Africa, and you'll be able to see when the UN say we are most vulnerable to climate change. Now, this is also telling us, okay, how are we going to survive when the oil is no more in demand? You see what coronavirus has done to the oil sector? So, I mean, the only people I'm scared for is Africans.
I
So
think that
that's my submission.
I think that the what do you call it? Some people want to put their head in the sand, but the reality in coronavirus is not allowing them to put their head in the sand. So we'll need to see how it will go. Olukoko, as usual, it's been an absolute pleasure
Yeah.
having this discussion with you. For those of you who this is your first time, we thank you for listening to us. Please subscribe and like this talk. Till next time, where we come to you with a different topic. Please remember, coronavirus does not discriminate based on race, creed, belief, whatever your background. Please stay safe, use social distancing, make sure that you take up the necessary precautions, and have a very pleasant week. Bye.
Okay, bye from me. And you can eat my carrot now, right?
You can eat your carrot.